Hello, everyone. I want to tell you guys about how my deposition went. Wait for you guys to get in. Welcome in, welcome in. We'll be discussing the details of my deposition because it was nuts. It was crazy. But we'll start from the beginning. For those not too familiar. Hello, good morning, good morning. Good morning, how are you? Hello, hi. So, good to see you all. Hello. Wow, a lot of people in here. Hello, Belgium. So here's how it started out. All right. So I did this video where I identify this woman in a road rage incident at Dunkin' Donuts. Hi.
Wrong.
It's in Fort Myers. That is Jennifer Couture. I identified her, and she is subsequently arrested for her actions. She's put on probation afterwards, and good morning, everyone. Good morning. And so then while she's on probation, she decides to concoct this plan where she comes after me. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
And coming after me wasn't just like, reporting my videos. It was way more twisted than that. Like, this person's really messed up. It started out with hiring Joey Camp. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
Joseph Camp is a, hold on right here. We got Latinos for Trump. Hey, Latinos for Trump. Just give me 1 second to shut you up or block you. 1 second to do that. Block. All right, there you go. Sorry, you can't spam. Sorry, just like, don't spam, please. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
Anyway, where were we? So, I was saying, yeah, so part of our plan was to hire a known terrorist white supremacist, Joey Camp, and also, ooh, hi.
Wrong.
Patrick Train. These two nonstop were harassing me, my family, contacting, texting, emailing, everyone I know. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
And then also my neighbors, my landlord, everyone in my town, being really annoying. And then it started to escalate. He started to escalate. He said in text messages to me that he is going to escalate, and he did. My town got flyered. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
Flyered with flyers that said that I was a pedophile and a murderer all around my town, with my exact address on it and how to find me and my face. This was done by Jennifer Couture and Ralph Garamond personally. They came from Florida all the way to Pennsylvania. And I guess one of Garamond's kids had a graduation that they completely ditched to go see me instead. Someone said, "You're definitely a virgin. I have 2 children, you moron." But also, like, so strange that people like decide to sexualize you when you're talking about a court case about your children getting stalked. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
That is, anyway, so going back to what we're talking about. Yeah, no problem, guys. Where were we? See, I lost my train of thought. I need to stop reading comments. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, so then it escalates to them personally coming to my town. And when they come to my town, not only do they flyer it, ooh, hi.
Wrong.
But they actually start taking photos of me and my children playing outside. They take literal photos of us. And what do they do with these photos? They send them to Joey Camp and a bunch of other people. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
Of my children. Send them to Joey Camp, who then sends them back to me so that I know that he could see me or whatever, because he's trying to take the fall for them at this time. So he texts me a photo of myself and my children, 1 and 5 at the time, and threatens sexual violence against them. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
Threatens sexual mutilation against them, and tells me that he was so close he could have snatched my phone from me. Well, at the time, I didn't know who did that, like who took the photos, because I could see Joey Camp is not here. Joey Camp at the time tried to frame himself by making a video in a pool saying, "I'm here in your town at a hotel." Yeah, ooh, hi.
Wrong.
Idiot. You don't know your geography very well. There are no pools in my town that belong to a hotel that are outdoors. It snows here, you idiot. It gets under 15. We don't really do indoor pool. We don't do outdoor pools. Sorry. We don't do outdoor pools. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
So because, they're not good at this, I immediately was like, okay, palm trees in the background. You're clearly in Florida. Like, you're so stupid. Like, and then all it took, of course, was looking at some other clues. Oh, okay. Well, looks like Jennifer Couture is here under a username. Oh, hi.
Wrong.
All right. You're going to have to go. Sorry. Anybody who starts targeting children or talking about children, anybody who's okay with violating children, I put them in the same, category as a pedophile. Because you have to have the same mindset to be comfortable with violating children. Oh, hi.
Wrong.
So, Rosa Red 4803, ROSSEERED 4803. This person is very likely massively a pedophile. Anyway.
I hate children. And their teeth. What's with their fucking teeth? Their teeth look like shit. It's like Shark Week on Discovery Channel with every kid. Can you imagine that around your dick? That would be annoying as shit.
What the hell is that noise?
And their teeth. What's wrong with children's teeth? That's my phone.
Your phone's vibrating. Do you have to take that?
No, I'm in the middle of an interview. Do you want to say hi to the people?
Who is it?
Oh, no, I don't want to be on this. Don't do this to me.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, bye.
All right, I love you, sweetie. Have fun in your interview. Don't say anything embarrassing. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Keep that.
That's definitely in.
Yeah, keep it. She's got a new phone and I haven't put the contact list in. I hate children. And their teeth. What's with their fucking teeth? Their teeth look like shit. It's like Shark Week on Discovery Channel with every kid. Can you imagine that around your dick? Fuck no.
I was going to ask you, when are you and Hannah going to have kids?
Fuck that. We have dogs. That's good enough. And they'll die soon. That's the thing. They'll just fucking die.
They'll die before you. That's true.
Of course they'll die before me. I'll make sure of that. But besides that, they're not going to be around forever. Yeah, and they're not even annoying either. They stop barking, and even the sound of barking.
When they have diarrhea, right? That's
okay. Yeah, okay. My dog has diarrhea at the moment, and it's pretty obnoxious to clean. But it's so much better than a kid. Because the thing is, my dog knows where to diarrhea. Whereas a kid does not. I don't have to change no diapers. All I do is call Hannah and say, Hannah, there's a surprise for you when you get home. Then I find something to do outside the house for 30 minutes. I hate children. And their teeth. What's with their fucking teeth? Their teeth look like shit. It's like Shark Week on Discovery Channel with every kid. Can you imagine that around your...
Blocked. Moving on. So they said they're gonna, we're so close we could have got you. Now that photo of my children was used a lot to harass me with. In fact, it was sent to a lot of different people. A lot of just she just, I guess they made friends with the most disgusting, lowest common denominator people, whether it was like Razook Katora, another pedo felon, Richard Luthman, all this. Hi.
Wrong.
Disgusting people, felons or ex-lawyers, disgraced lawyers, something like some sort of rap sheet. Anyway, so these people continuously harass me for years and years and years. It won't stop. And through the whole thing, hi.
Wrong.
I'm making videos. I'm pumping out videos. And whenever I make a video, Joey tried to sabotage it by attacking the person that I just helped. And then calling like the police authority, whatever, that I informed about someone who did something bad, and trying to tell them that I'm a murderer or something, just trying to sabotage the story however he can. Hi.
Wrong.
He was unsuccessful as I kept making more stories, and I wouldn't stop. And at the time, I didn't even tell you guys that this was happening in my personal life. I didn't tell you guys. I don't want to give them the gratification, but also I don't want to distract from what we're trying to do here. Hi.
Wrong.
I also don't want to like give them like the thing they don't understand is people don't care. People don't care about my personal life. I don't talk about my personal life, and they thought it was really important to my audience. Hi.
Wrong.
And so they kept saying things about my personal life, and unless I talk about it, people don't really care because because they live in a different reality. Anyway, So, oh, by the way, I know that they watch everything I do and record everything I do. So this one's for you, Jennifer. Hi.
Wrong.
So let me tell you more. I got to get to this deposition because you'll love how I handled it. So, nonstop sabotage, right? So the court case is about to start. I'm about to sue them. Hi.
Wrong.
And they throw a lawsuit at me first. This was 2 years ago. They threw a lawsuit at me first, which was immediately dismissed because it's garbage. Immediately dismissed, thrown away, gone. No more lawsuit. And the reason is because they only did that lawsuit because they wanted to try to drain my money so I can't sue them. And I knew. Hi.
Wrong.
I know this because Joey would text me the plans or email me their plans all the time. Or he'd post about them on Gab. He is their worst teammate. He just constantly reveals everything. And we know that his information is correct because what he says happens. Hi.
Wrong.
Anyway, so their lawsuit gets dismissed and I sue them. When I sue them, one of their, I had to raise money to do that through a GoFundMe. And they made every effort. Suddenly I had a lot more goons and people coming after me. You had people like Lola Ray, Pretty Basic, Laura Smith and stuff. Hi.
Wrong.
Telling people that my GoFundMe is fake or it's not for real things or people should report it and get taken down. And for a moment they did freeze it, but it was unfrozen. When I showed them the depravity of the people who have been saying these things about me, they go, "Oh, gross." And of course they, restored it and they said, "Wish you luck. I hope you destroy these people." Hi.
Wrong.
That's everyone's sentiment. When you introduce anybody to what Jennifer and Ralph are doing, everyone's immediate sentiment is to barf from disgust and offer any sort of help they can give me because this is just, it's unheard of that anybody would be so crazy. Hi.
Wrong.
Anyway, so another reason why I never responded or never made videos about it or never did anything is because I didn't want to be this. I know how police work, and I don't want to be in a situation where police say, "Well, they came at you, you came at them, this and that. It's even, you both." No. Hi.
Wrong.
No. I did nothing and I said nothing while they did it over and over and over again for months. And then my first video ever addressing it online was me saying, "Jennifer Couture, please leave my children alone." That was the only thing I said in the video. Hi.
Wrong.
I didn't attack her. And then she didn't stop. So I did say, "Please stop." And she didn't stop. So it's not like it's a two-side thing. It's one side being absolutely insane and one side being a victim of it. They try to frame this very differently. Hi.
Wrong.
They try to frame it as the attacker is the victim. And that's probably why their lawyers cycle out so much because you can't really do that. But one thing I want to mention is how they've been sabotaging this process because it leads into the deposition. They've been sabotaging every single part of this, whether it was introducing a fake lawsuit first, whether it was threatening my lawyer. My first lawyer, hi.
Wrong.
They had Joey threaten his wife and kid, and he couldn't take it anymore, so he had to leave and had to get a new lawyer. And now it's not like nobody knew he was doing that. Joey did this all very publicly on his Gab and would post things like, waiting for Danesh to get a new lawyer so I could go attack him too. Like hi.
Wrong.
They were very open about this, and I think it's because they thought we were never going to make a connection between them, which is absurd. Anyway, I'm grateful for their ignorance and stupidity. Honestly, they may have been successful in driving me crazy if they didn't have someone like Joey Camp just fucking it all up along the way. Hi.
Wrong.
And fucking it up out of stupidity, not on purpose. They're so dumb and bad at this that they fuck it up. Not because they're trying to fuck it up. They're definitely trying to succeed and failing. Moving on. So, that wasn't all they tried to sabotage. Of course, they had GoFundMe, there was that. Also, you had Joey constantly, even to this day, emailing the judge in this case. I'm not kidding. Emailing the judge nonstop. Hi.
Wrong.
Emailing this crazy things, filing fake John Does. and then just saying like horribly racist shit in the emails to the judge. And he's like, fuck, do I care? He's like writing on his Gab. What do I care? I'm all the way in, South America. He's never going to catch me. Bro, you may not care, but you have a team who's in this lawsuit who are actually named defendants who probably care that you're doing this. Hi.
Wrong.
I don't give a shit. Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. Do whatever the hell you're going to do. I mean, we're going to hold you accountable for it. Anyway, so, that all being said, I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything until I get into this. So going into this deposition. Oh, and then they hired another goon. Someone said, I don't know how you're so patient with these people. Patience requires fortitude. It requires strength. It requires wisdom. These are things they do not possess. So yeah, like, of course I'm going to outsmart them. Of course I'm going to outlast them. Of course I'm going to, outmaneuver them. Of course I am. Hi.
Wrong.
Because I'm a living thing that's not them. Not because I'm like a super genius. I'm literally anything with a brain and motor skills that's not them. They're not very smart. Also, having the truth on your side really helps. It really, really helps. So knowing that I'm going to be successful and holding them accountable keeps me going. Knowing that they're going to pay for all this keeps me going. Keeps me. Hi.
Wrong.
Patient, and I'm able to continue making my videos, doing what I do without them destroying my platform, throwing me off, or changing me in any way. I'm not going to let them be successful in that way. That being said, I did get diagnosed with CPTSD by a doctor who was actually
wrong.
Threatened by Joey Camp and Richard Luthman, and he had to quit because the threats wouldn't stop. And actually, we have a hearing next month because of this witness intimidation shit, which is a huge, 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 huge crime. Like, they keep committing more and even bigger crimes. At this point, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, but my personal, what I know about the law. Hi.
Wrong.
I personally feel like the witness intimidation thing is the biggest crime. And they're all fucked for that. That's what I believe. But I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. How should I know? We'll see what happens. So the witness intimidation thing is important, though, because it wasn't just that. Richard Luthman, their other goon, he's an ex-lawyer, disgraced lawyer, felon. He was part of a conspiracy where he and some people held somebody at gunpoint. Hi.
Wrong.
Like, this guy is a violent felon. This guy likes to post revenge porn online, or just images of other people, sexual images of other people, and he does it. He justifies himself doing it by making the false claim that the people in the image are children. So he's trying to say he's calling out pedophilia. That's his whole thing. Like, he posts revenge porn, but he's calling out pedophilia, even though there's no evidence that that is what he's posting. Hi.
Wrong.
Now, here's the interesting part. I call this dude a pedophile. All right? I don't need to follow up with that. That's what I call him. And so, well, let me tell you why that matters. When we went into deposition, this guy, Richard Luthman, who I previously told them, this guy cannot know about where we are. This guy is dangerous. He has sent packages to my in-laws, threatening packages to my in-laws and my family members. This guy cannot know where we are. Hi.
Wrong.
So this deposition was under a court-ordered protection. Nobody outside of this deposition could know where we are. And in the morning, the very first thing that happened when we were there, I was handed a service for a lawsuit by Richard Luthman, a defamation lawsuit for calling him a pedophile. This was an attempt to just throw me off before. They wanted to get me worried and stressed and all that. Hi.
Wrong.
I know that because they do this often, and Joey was saying they were going to do it. They're very bad at this. Now, he has no jurisdiction. This lawsuit is dead on arrival. Is a waste of time. Really. It's dead on arrival. All of it is garbage. There's no use in even looking at it. I don't even read through it. Because you need jurisdiction. That is one thing I didn't know about courts until I got involved in this process. But they have zero jurisdiction. Hi.
Wrong.
Meaning that this court cannot uphold this lawsuit. So how will that look for Richard? He tried to sue someone for calling him a pedophile, And that lawsuit immediately fails. That's going to look real good on your record, buddy. Like, that's going to look real good for you. Hey, I tried to sue someone for calling me a pedophile, but the judge said, hell no, you can't do this. Hi.
Wrong.
Now, when I was in that deposition, they tried to back up. They tried to set him up. You can tell they're working in tandem because they tried to set him up. They said, have you ever called him? This is the way they did it too. Have you ever called him a pedophile? Have you ever called Richard Luthman a pedophile? I said, yes. And he's like, oh, you thought he got something. Yes. Well, why don't you tell us about it? And I was like, okay. Anybody who posts images online anyone who posts sexual images online, claiming that the people in the photo are children, whether they are or not, doesn't really matter because by the end of the day, he believes that they're children and he distributed it. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
So what does that make him? The way that lawyer shutted the fuck up so fast and moved on was hilarious. He didn't want to talk about this at all after that. He's like, fuck. You could tell immediately in his head, he's like, damn it, he is a pedophile. Like, immediately I got him on that. So that case I'd win anyway. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
That's the sad part about it. And I'll reveal a little secret. Any platform where Richard has been posting those images, I have been getting them taken down because I report it as child porn and it gets taken down immediately. So, idiot. Freaking, like, these people are idiots. Now, here's hi.
Wrong.
The part where it's not so funny. My lawyer grabbed the lawsuit from me and on record said, who told him about the location? And I was like, oh my God, I just realized that. He knows where I am. And then at that same time, this deposition's under court-ordered protection. At the same time, Joey can't post the full address of where I'm sitting while I'm there. These are one of the two guys, now two of the two guys that are not supposed to know. No. So we had every single person in that room, which was mostly lawyers of theirs. They hired as many. Imagine like spending that much money, getting that many lawyers and still losing. So they get all their lawyers one by one on record. Look at the camera and go, I am not the one who gave out the address to Richard Luthman or to Joey Camp, to any of these known terrorists. One by one, every single person on record. Hold on 1 second. I gotta check something. Okay. Every single person on record did that except Ralph Garamone and Jennifer Couture. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
All of their attempts to sabotage me, all of them are going to backfire because now because to me, I'm not like, oh, there's a lawsuit. Oh no, I'm getting sued. That lawsuit's dead. What I'm thinking about is next month, we have a hearing because of those witness intimidation tactics they used on my doctor and, literally any witness we present and my lawyers and stuff. We have a hearing for that. There's no way we're not going to mention that you just did this at that hearing. That hearing is an attempt to default you for this case. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
So, smart move. Like, what the hell? Like, these people are... Someone said sick people who use kids' pictures. Absolutely. If you notice in my videos, no matter what the video is about, if a kid shows up anywhere in the video, even in like the person's social media, like in the background photo, I always blur it or cover it with a emoji. I always give children privacy. They deserve that. It doesn't matter how bad or evil their parents might be. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
They always deserve privacy, and they don't inherit the sins of their parents at all. So there's a lot of, issues and stuff with that too. They did go through my tax returns. They brought up my tax returns. Hi.
Wrong.
Returns, which are not relevant to the case. And, I could see what they're doing. It's what Joey said they were going to do. They already gave this away. What they were trying to do is go through my tax returns, get me to mess up, and then try to report me to IRS, try to get me in trouble for that. Even though I'm the victim in this case. Hi.
Wrong.
Because they did this under the guise of reducing damages, but my biggest damages aren't in lost wages; they're in defamation. So, I can tell what they're doing. So, the first thing he did to throw me off which did really piss me off. They handed them to Ralph and Jennifer, who were there too, but they're not lawyers. They handed it to them, and my tax returns had the name of my children on them. That's, for the last 3 years, I made every effort in the world to keep their names, keep them from getting their names. Why would they give child stalkers the name of children? Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
My children, the ones they're targeting. Why? I've done everything I can to keep those names from them, and now they have them. So I was really upset about that, because this tax stuff shouldn't even be happening. We shouldn't even be talking about this anyway. So now I'm worried, but also I know, Richard and Joey start targeting them. Literally there's only one, I said on record, there's only one place it could come from if they start getting, hi.
Wrong.
Getting attacked by name. But for me, that is like an emergency mode. Like, I don't feel safe now. These are child stalkers. Jennifer and Ralph don't they don't care that there's children involved. They actually look at them as vulnerable targets, which is why they made them a huge part of stalking me. So I'm very upset by that. But going into the taxes, he starts asking me all these little questions that had nothing to do with the case. So I said to him there, and I'll say to it now too, every question I answered about my taxes was a yes. None of it was absolute. And I told him, I'm not giving you absolute answers on my taxes. I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to mess me up. You've been sabotaging this entire deposition. You're trying to get me to mess up while I'm overly emotional. So you go report me to IRS because you don't want to be held accountable for the thing that you guys did. It's not going to work. How am I supposed to remember my taxes? I can't possibly remember that off the top of the head. Every answer is a guess. So eat that shit. Meaning that nothing could be, verified. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
That I said, in that portion. Next, he started to share revenge porn. He put a photo right in front of me. It was a screenshot of an OnlyFans page that looked like it was supposed to be mine. This is the same images. These are the same images, or look like the same images that Joey Camp has stolen. Same ones that he was posting everywhere. So when they popped that down in front of me, I said, what am I looking at? Did you authenticate this? No, then don't put this in front of me. This is trash. He's like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at. You didn't authenticate your evidence. This looks like revenge porn. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
It looks like stolen material. And he said, no, it's not. I'm like, okay, then let me ask you, how'd you get the screenshot? Because these kind of things are behind a paywall. You'd have to pay to get it. Did you pay? Which one of you paid for this? Did you pay for it? He's like, it doesn't matter. It does matter. Because that money would have gone to me. So if this is real, one of you paid me for this, or you stole this from me. Which one of you stole these images? Should I call the police right now? No, don't call the police. Well, then answer the question. I don't answer your questions, but you're committing a crime. This is a crime. This is a literal crime you put in front of me, and I'm going to prosecute you. And I should say, Dwayne Morris LLP, Harvey from Dwayne Morris LLP, possesses and distributes revenge porn. It should be. Hi.
Wrong.
Be known because he does that. Just as his partner, Julian Jackson Fannin did as well. That's what they do. They distribute revenge, which I'm going to prosecute them for. I don't know. Hi.
Wrong.
I don't know what they're thinking. It was useless. It's not like I could even comment on it. It's not authenticated evidence because they would have to find an OnlyFans account that doesn't exist anymore and try to justify pulling images from it when I never brought up the OnlyFans in my lawsuit that I'm suing them for. So, hi.
Wrong.
What are they bringing this up for? To further harass, to use this process, this judicial process, to further harass and try to embarrass me. No matter what they do, I'm not stopping this legal process. I'm not going to stop doing that. So I just kept looking at him going, I don't know what this is. Don't know what this is. Don't know what it is. Sorry. And he goes, he said, what about that woman who's in that image with you? What's her name? You fucking creep. Are you kidding me? Dude, are you circumcised or not? Since we're getting personal. The fuck you asking me that for? What's her name? And he goes, I don't know, Harvey. I don't know her name because I don't know what this image is. This is an image that looks like stolen material. Did you steal it? I just want to know if you know her name. You're a fucking pervert, bro. Like, I just... Why do they want a name of the person? They want to harass more people. They want to just be more like assholes. So, I said to them, this is part of the harass. This is what I'm suing for. What you're doing right now, I'm suing you for this. And like, you're adding to it. 5 million is nowhere near enough. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
I told you last time, it's going to be doubled. Now it's tripled. Like, what are you thinking? You can't keep doing this and expect me to be okay with it. So they fucked themselves over with that. I really don't get the point of constantly doing that. It doesn't like help their case. Oh, and then he tried to say the same thing that Luthman's lawsuit was about. He's like, are they minors in those photos? How do I know they're not minors? I'm like, well, the better question is, why do you possess photos of minors? Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
You're saying they're minors, right? Why do you possess sex photos of minors? So should I contact the police now because you possess and distribute child porn? Is that what you're saying? No, I'm asking you. And I'm asking you, where'd you get it? Hey, I asked the questions here. Okay, what's your question? The question is that a child? If it is, you possess and distribute child porn. I will report. Hi.
Wrong.
Report you for that. Moves on. Every single thing they tried to use against me, fucking shoved it right up their ear. I gave it right back to them. Everything. And the reason why that's so easy is because they're making up narratives. They're making up reality, and it's never going to stick. You're never going to get this fantasy where you get to harm the victim or do some sort of irreversible damage to him. Ooh, hi.
Wrong.
To me. Part of what they wanted to do was kill me. And I'm not being dramatic. I hate saying that because it sounds dramatic, but genuinely, when somebody makes TV commercials about you, they made TV commercials, they put up flyers, penny saver ads, billboards in my town, all saying I'm violent. They'd call my neighbors and try to say that I was a pedophile that murdered a child. They went around doing it like they're trying to get me killed. And then they swatted me several times. Which they don't want to hear